you. All right, so I'm going to bring on our next speaker here. She is our opening speaker.
Nice.
She is the co-founder of Wander Beauty, my go-to mascara, because they're in a squishy tube instead of a hard tube. That's the best way to describe it. And we're so excited to have her. She's an epic businesswoman. So please welcome Divya Gugnani.
Hi, Divya.
Hi, everyone. How are you? I hope you can see me okay. Yes, no?
Yes,
like
you're
going in and out with the light. I can't tell if the lighting is like getting better or worse or what's going on. So happy to meet all of you guys. So happy to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, which is balancing it all, which I know everyone is always struggling with and thinking through and kind of figuring out their life plan. And so I'm going to start by telling you just a little bit about my story and kind of share my best tips and tricks and techniques for how I manage my life and how I balance my life and how I set up productive time for both my and professional relationships. So my career started in investment banking at Goldman Sachs. I actually was born in Springfield, Illinois, which is, not somewhere that most people know anything about, and then grew up mostly in Long Island, which is outside of New York City. And the story really is that my dad came here from India for college, and he had an arranged marriage with my mother, who had never left India ever in her life, and came here, and she didn't know anyone. And what's so interesting about this story is that it really speaks to what I think is the most important thing in building your life, both professionally and personally. And that is really about building relationships. She came here and she didn't know anyone. So what did my mom do? She literally pulled the Yellow Pages out. And some of you guys may actually not know what the Yellow Pages is, but it's a directory of phone numbers of people that live locally in your area. It used to be a book about this thick. And everyone got one when they moved into a new apartment or a new house. And she got the Yellow Pages out and she for in last names so she could call people and make friends because she knew it. And recently there was a TED Talk and a study done that talks about how to have a long, healthy life. And they did a study on people who've lasted and lived till over 100. And the people who've lasted and lived till over 100, the common theme, obviously there were common themes like they watched their diet, they quit smoking, they were not drinking that much alcohol. And these like kind of health aspects of living long are important. But the number one reason that they found that people live over the age of 100 is because they have strong personal and professional relationships and they have a strong network. And so my biggest tip for people when they're thinking about having a fruitful, long life and having a great career and a great home life is really investing in your network, really strong relationships. So I feel so strongly that when I started my career in investment banking at Goldman Sachs, the first thing I did is meet everyone. You never know what you're going to learn from anyone. And so my motto always is be a sponge. When you enter a new relationship, whether you're meeting a new friend or you're starting a new business venture or you're hiring a team, everyone has something to offer you. Everyone has a different skill set than your own. And it's a great opportunity to learn from others. So when I started my first job, I learned scheduling from all of the assistants at work. They knew how to color code schedules and figure out how to time block and how to be efficient and how to manage travel and how to manage meetings and how to keep the trains running on time. I learned how to pitch and close deals from all the managing directors that were pitching and closing deals all around me. And so when you take the opportunity to be a sponge, you can absorb all of that knowledge and really use it to formulate your own leadership style, your own management style, your own professional style. When you watch from others and you absorb and learn, it's critical in your next development, in your next phase of building your career and your home life to decide who you want to be, who that person is, how that person articulates, how they speak, how they interact with others. And so first thing, invest in relationships, just recapping. I always have the saying, network to get work. If you don't know something, and as an entrepreneur who's now started 4 businesses, as I mentioned, started my career in investment banking at Goldman Sachs, worked in private equity, invested in late stage companies, worked in venture capital, invested in early stage companies, have run 4 businesses, have sold 2 companies, and have had the opportunity of working with so many diverse people, I have found that in my career, in my daily life, and being an entrepreneur, I'm constantly problem solving. My job is problem solving. There's a new fire to put out, there's a new problem to solve, and I don't have all the answers. And so I feel so strongly that when I take the opportunity to know what I know and know what I don't know, I can take action towards solving problems. I reach out to my network. I've built a really strong network of contacts that can help me at every juncture, whether they're other entrepreneurs, whether they're other moms, and I'm troubleshooting things at home with my kids. I've really invested in building relationships in my network. As I mentioned, I've also really invested in being a sponge and learning from others. So those are kind of 2 really critical skills. Also, as a mom, I feel that when we talk about balance, which is such an ephemeral concept and something so difficult to put your hands on, I do believe you can have it all. I just don't believe you can have it all at the same time. I do believe that there are times and phases of our life where we have to invest in different areas of our life, and where you invest, you get rewards. Where you invest, there's a return. And so the early years of my career, I invested heavily on working hard, being present, coming to work early, leaving late, investing in my career, investing in my network. And I had this incredible opportunity to become a mom, which was something that is near and dear to my heart. And it was a challenge in and of itself, starting late, getting pregnant late, getting pregnant at all, which was all challenges, all chalked up to a lot of difficulty and hardship. But when I had the opportunity to have children, I was still working like a crazy maniac. I had my son, I was pregnant with him, and I was selling my business to QVC at the same time, and he had no idea I was pregnant. So just imagine the amount of stress as being a pregnant career professional who doesn't want to tell anyone that she's pregnant because she's, gone through this really difficult fertility journey. I felt so strongly that I had to find time in my life to do things that were important to me and prioritize different things at different times in my life. When I had my son, I was working like a maniac. When I had the wonderful opportunity to have my daughter 2 years later, I took a pause and I told myself, I'm not going to travel like crazy. I'm not going to have 2 kids under the age of 2 and be on the road, 10 days a month. I took a step back and said, I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to empower my team to take a lot of these overseas opportunities and these travel opportunities, and I'm going to be here with my children because that is something that is critical to me at this very moment. I didn't have that choice with my son because I was so deep into it. And I had so much to prove in that role and that job when I was in that moment. But with my daughter, I had that chance, and I told myself, this is what I'm going to do. So you can have it all. You just can't have it all at the same time. You have to prioritize different people and different aspects of your life at different times, and be happy with those priorities. Don't have resent over it. Don't resent it. Don't feel guilt over it. I know so many people feel mom guilt. I don't believe in mom guilt. I believe that everyone's a good mom, and we're just all different moms, and we have a different way that we handle child rearing, and we have to give ourselves grace. The most important piece of grace that we can all give each other is that we take care of ourselves first. When you're on a plane and say, put on your own oxygen mask first before you put it on for your children, it's critically important that you take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you will not be able to take care of others. And so taking time for self-care. I get up every morning. I do my streaming workout on Obey Fitness because without exercise, my brain doesn't work. I have my ginger water in the morning to hydrate. I do my transcendental meditation twice a day. These are all things that balance me, ground me, and allow me to focus.
I love that. Excuse me. I definitely think that's super important. I think that's one of the main themes too of the event is like that self-care. And I really loved what you were sharing and just the honest truth of it all. It's like, even if you don't have kids, but you have a relationship or other things in your life, I think you really do have to figure out what hats are you going to wear in this moment. And that seems like it is a reoccurring theme. And it's so important because you'll wake up one day and one section of your life will be in shambles or crumbles, right? So I really love that you.
So Megan, relationships are like the plant that's beside you. If you don't water them, they don't grow.
No.
And so every relationship, whether it's people, colleagues at work, or it's your friends and your family, if you don't invest in the relationship, you don't get the rewards of the relationship, and it will die out and dry out. So it's super important to really invest in relationships. That's what keeps us living past that 100 years, which is the goal for all of us. Right?
Which we need, right? And if we can get there too with some Wander Beauty, why not?
Why not?
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I definitely think that there's some real value. I took notes, and I love the power of delegating and how that's helped you expand and be able to invest more in your relationships and keep them thriving. So really appreciate you being here and taking your time with us tonight.
Thanks for having me. Take care. Have a great rest of the night.